Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
If you are familiar with Visual Basic programming, you can create formulas in Crystal Reports using the basic syntax, which may seem more familiar to you. Generally speaking, using the basic syntax in Crystal Reports is just like using Visual Basic, except that it has specific extensions to handle reporting. When using basic syntax, you will need to become familiar with the ways in which formulas refer to other fields in the report. You must also learn how to return the value from the formula to the report using a special variable called formula. It's also important to be aware of some of the special report processing functions that you will probably need to use, such as report title or on first record. Also, you will need to understand the data type system used in basic syntax. Unlike the data types in Visual Basic, the basic syntax is strongly typed. While you do not specifically have to declare a variable data type when declaring variables, note that there is no variant data type. You have the choice of either a date, time, or date-time data type versus the simple date type that's used in Visual Basic. In basic syntax, the value returned by the formula to the report is signified by the use of a special variable named formula. For example, here is a basic syntax formula that returns 10% of the value of an order amount field from an orders table within a report. Ensure that you switch the syntax dropdown to basic syntax before creating the formula within the formula editor version of the formula workshop. If you do not, you will receive error messages when you try to save and close the formula, as its syntax will then be evaluated using the Crystal syntax conventions to which it does not adhere. Basic syntax will always return a formula result, which must be one of the 7 simple data types that are supported: number, currency, string, Boolean, date, time, or date time. While Crystal Reports does support the use of range types and array types, these cannot be the returned results of a formula. Also, you may use the formula variable many times within a formula. This may be the case when using an if-then-else conditional, which returns one of 2 possible results. Also, even if you do not intend to use the result of the formula in the report, you must always assign a value to the formula variable. However, if you have the situation where you have multiple formula variables within a formula, as would be the case when using the if-then-else conditional statement, all of the values assigned to the formula variable must be of the same data type. So, for example, if formula is set to a string value in one of the possible results of an if-then-else conditional, it must always be assigned as a string value in the other lines of the same conditional formula when it occurs. Another unique feature of the formula variable is that you do not need to declare the variable as you do most other variables. Just as when using the Crystal syntax, you can write comments into the formulas that can help clarify a function. To signify a comment in basic syntax, you can begin the line with either the word rem or with the apostrophe character. The text that then follows on the same line will be ignored by the basic compiler when the formula is calculated. Another commonality between the basic syntax and the Crystal syntax is the fact that neither syntax is case sensitive with the exception of text strings. Remember that the string value of Crystal Reports with a capital C and an R is not the same as an all lowercase Crystal Reports or an all uppercase Crystal Reports when you're dealing with text strings. Many of the functions and operators used in Crystal syntax are also used in basic syntax. For example, subtraction is referenced by the minus sign, and many functions, such as sum, are used the exact same way. However, there are still considerable differences between the two syntaxes. Basic syntax consists of several lines of statements which comprise the formula. Each statement can be separated by using either a line break or the colon symbol if on the same line. You can continue a statement onto the next line by following it with the spacebar character and then the underscore symbol if needed. This allows you to write a single statement that consists of several lines if desired. You can also declare variables and assign a value to them, which can then be used later on in the formula by another statement, much as you can in the crystal syntax. Now, in the basic syntax, you use the dim function to declare the variable, which is then named as a specific data type. Note that the first and third lines of this formula are simply commentary explaining what is occurring. The value of the declared variable is then assigned in the fourth line using the equal sign. Note that you can also use the word let to assign a value to a variable. For an example, here's an alternate way of expressing the fourth line in this example. You could say let variable x equals 20 times 10. Much of the referencing to specific types of data values is the same in both syntaxes. Field values are always enclosed within braces. String values are always enclosed within double quotes. Note that there are no single quotes allowed for basic syntax. And date and time values are always enclosed within pound signs.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.